Just in case you didn't know, you were rocking with the Influ Game written now.
What up, good people? Hey, it's your boy Velt. Welcome to another episode of Influ Game. Y'all already know what it is, man. I'm in here with my guy, Hemi. We said we shutting that thing down, man.
We back, baby. We back.
He said we back. Now I just I want to thank I want to thank y'all. I want to thank God for another opportunity to be in front of y'all to try to enhance our everyday life. Enhance what you said. But yeah, man. So what we're gonna be discussing is basically the 22 immutable laws of branding. Immutable laws of branding. How to build a product or service into a world-class brand.
That's what we read.
By Al and Laura Ries.
That's it.
Yeah, man. You can bring your book.
My book in the car.
It's in the car.
You know,
don't worry
I
about
always keep my book with me. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I got to keep my book with me. So
yeah, I kind of figured.
yeah.
I'll probably be reading. Then you're gonna
No.
expand. We're gonna expand.
Do what you do. You know
yeah.
Hey, you know I'm right in here with you.
All right, so before we get into it, real quick, because we don't want to lose our audience. No, I'm just kidding.
We're gonna lose y'all.
No,
Let's roll it.
Who would you say this is for when it comes to branding? Does that apply to everybody?
Man, listen, that applies to anybody who thinks about, coming up with their own brand. They have a product or service that they want to provide to the world.
Yeah.
This book is for you.
It's for you.
I can guarantee you that.
Hey, man, it sounds like we need to reach out to Al and Laura.
Al and Laura, I need that. I need that check.
Okay.
No, but it's for real though. Like anybody who's thinking about developing a brand or a product or service, man, you need to read this. This is really something to read.
So, if you were listening at the beginning, I said it's 22 laws.
22.
So we're gonna break it down, man. So this pretty much gonna turn into like a series. We're gonna try to do it as break it down in threes. We might squeeze a 4 in. It depends on how long the chapters is. So everything that we discuss in the chapters that we dive into, it's gonna be in depth, but at the same time we're not covering everything. I'm like, I probably leave like the link or you'll see in the comments where you can look it up and read it for yourself.
Read it.
And that's how they say with the Bible. And they say read it for yourself.
Read it a week.
Read it for yourself. You might get a whole nother interpretation.
Yeah.
That another angle that we probably don't know about, man. Yeah, man, I'm about to say if we leaving anything that's valuable within this whole episode, man, put it in the comments.
Feel free.
Yeah, man, we might turn it into something. Depends on who all respond and comment. We might just put together like a actual, meetup or event or something. You know, you never know what this can turn into. Yeah, but yeah, man, we're gonna dive right into it, man. Boy.
Introduction. Let's roll it.
I
don't know if you highlighted. I don't know if you did a lot of highlighting. See, I did a lot of highlighting.
I did a little bit. So you said introduction. You trying to go into the?
No. See, those who those who get the book, read the introduction. The introduction is, most introductions give you a brief overview of what you're about to read. This one right here, it's a little bit more than that. Yeah. It's like it makes you, when you read the introduction, it makes you literally want to read this. It makes you really want to dive into it so you can really get to the meat and potatoes of this whole situation.
So they did their job when they did the introduction. Basically.
Yeah, they really made you want to read it. In the introduction, and maybe I think it's like maybe 8-9 pages. But when you're reading it, you're like, man. And instead of hitting you back to back, and then when you finally get to the last page, you're like, okay, now let's get into the chapters.
What? It was crazy. Remember when you asked me, like, hey, man, you didn't read the introduction?
Yeah.
I said, no, I went straight to chapter 1.
You got to hit your introduction.
Which I normally do, but like once I got the book, you was like, it's like you had already started reading. So therefore, I was like, man, I got to catch up. I'm like, I feel you. Because normally when I take my time, I'm like, oh yeah, let me take my time and read things.
Yeah, my thing is like when you get a chance though, to go through it and just, I know we on like chapter 6 together, but I've been reading. I'm all the way down to chapter 19, but I'm saying like get a chance, just go check out the introduction and watch how they hit you. It's gonna hit you with some big brands, a lot of brands y'all know and love. It's gonna hit you with them. It's gonna give you a brief overview of them. Give you a brief overview of like a few of them. Somewhat of the history of how it got started, and then it's gonna move on. and then it's gonna let you know. I ain't gonna spoil it for y'all. I'm not gonna spoil it for you. Get the book. I guarantee you it's a great buy.
Okay. All right, man. So
Jump into
chapter 1, the law of expansion.
the law of expansion.
Hey, man. So off the rip, they said, when you think of Chevrolet, what immediately comes to mind? If you're having trouble, it's understandable. Chevrolet is a large, small, cheap, expensive, car or truck. So when you put your brand name on everything, the name loses power. Chevrolet used to be the best-selling automobile brand in America, no longer, because today Ford is the leader. Ford is the leader. I don't know if we wanted to expand. Was that kind of like self-explanatory? So I know some people probably like.
They want you to, of course, they're gonna want you to go in depth. They're gonna want you to explain
a
that
little bit. So when you put your name on everything, it loses power. So some people were like, "Why not? Why would you not want your name on everything?" Because it feels.
I guess because certain brands could be weaker. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So let's say Chevrolet, right? Chevrolet itself is a brand. That's the mega brand. So from what I've read in chapter 9, I think it's 19, was talked about like sub brands.
Yeah.
So Chevrolet is the mega brand. The sub brand would be Camaro or those different, the different cars.
Yeah.
So in that matter, it's like when you put Chevrolet on all of that, whatever product doesn't do really well, it hurts the mega brand.
Okay.
See what I'm saying? So
That makes sense.
It's like, I guess in that case, Chevy shouldn't have done that. Chevy should have stayed with, its select few, and then come up with another category, which we talked about. Come up with another category of a car brand, and then just be the not really be the face behind it, but be the muscle behind it.
Yeah.
So you'd never see a Chevy XYZ. It'll be this brand right here, but it'll be made by Chevy, like Lexus, right?
Right.
So Lexus is like it's a sub brand from Toyota.
Okay.
So most people don't know that Toyota make Lexus, but you don't see Toyota own Lexus cars.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, boy, you just went.
Ooh.
You went head first. Let me keep reading. Let's bring it back. Let's bring it back just a tad, because I'm sure
We ain't gonna do this to y'all.
No, I'm sure like some caught on to it like real fast.
Yeah.
Some might already know, but we might end up like expanding on maybe something that they haven't heard or haven't thought about. The way we're bringing it around the corner. It also says Chevrolet has 10 separate car models.
We just talked about that, right?
Ford has 8. That's one reason Ford outsells Chevrolet. The power of a brand is inversely proportional to its scope. So, in other words, even though Chevrolet got more models, they got 10, Ford got 8. So I'm trying to think of an analysis that we can put together.
Less is more.
Less is more. So I'm thinking, even when you say less is more, somebody's still like, less is more. Like they don't get it. So the way I'm looking at it right now is like, basically, the less you have, the more you can put more energy into.
There you go. That's it.
Yeah. These things.
Yeah, the less you have, the more energy you can put into it, the right thing. See, when you have multiple things, you have to expand that energy amongst all of them, and you can't master any one of them doing all of them.
Right.
So if you narrow the focus,
okay,
I ain't gonna say no more. I'm gonna hold it down. I'm gonna wait till that part come.
He trying to come.
I'm gonna wait till it come.
Why does Chevrolet market? Why does Chevrolet market all these models? Because it wants to sell more cars, and in the short term, it does. So if you got a lot of them, of course they're gonna sell real quick at the beginning. But it depends on if you're in for the long term or the short term.
Right.
I think that should be that's like one of the first things that you ask yourself when you go into business or when you're starting like that. I think that's the ones that still hang around that's still solid is because they look at the long term versus the shorts.
Well, some people don't look at the long term either. They just fall into it.
Okay.
See, it's like you can You can say, you know what, I got a short-term goal for XYZ, what I'm doing. But at the same instance, you can be like, you know what, well, I'm just going to ride it till the wheels fall out. That don't mean you have a goal for the long term. You're just going to go as long as it can go. Okay. So you can go long term without a goal, and it still won't be, you know. See what I'm saying? Some people I mean, some people can calculate the risk and say, you know what, it'll take me 10 years to get here. I'm willing to take that 10 years. Some people are like, shit, eventually I get there. Yeah. So they don't what you call count the cost. Yeah. They don't count it up. They don't wait to see. They like, shit, I get there eventually. So when I get there, I'll get there. But I feel like you gotta kind of like count it. You know what I mean? You gotta hold yourself accountable for what you're doing. If you don't do that, shit, I'm like, what are you doing? Okay. You winging it basically.
So again, it says why does Chevrolet market all these models? Because it wants to sell more cars in the short term. Yeah. But in the long term, the model expands, undermines the brand name in the mind of the customers. So the model expansion undermines the brand name in the mind of the customers. Yeah, because so when it says undermine the brand name in the mind of your customers, it kind of like it's like watered down. Because if you pay attention, once again, we ain't trying to go ahead though, but like if you pay attention, a lot of people pay high dollar for what's it like Gucci, Louis Vuitton and stuff like that, because it's high end and like I'm not sure if they have a discount or nothing like that, but no, basically it's more like you know what you're getting. Because that's why you paying. That's why you're paying for it. Yeah. So right here, where it's saying it undermines it when it's expanding, it's like, oh, they got too many. But I mean, they got too many to choose from. So something is, you know, in other words, it might feel like you still trying to figure it out. So I don't know if I want to shop with you but if you had this one car, like that's all they.
Y'all get that?
So if you come on the lot and you see that one car, you like it might have different colors or whatnot. But if you go on the lot and you see that one car, you be like, oh, they know that in and out. They got to.
Great example, Rolls Royce. Let's be honest about it. Rolls. Come on now. When you hit the Rolls, like all you gonna see is either the Cullinan, you gonna see the Ghost, or you gonna see the Phantom. There's 3. Yeah. 9 times out of 10, listen, 9 times out of 10, you can't get what you see. You got to order one. Come on now. Okay. That's how they do. That's how they play the game. Because they were like, listen, we want our our product to be very, one of a kind. You want this thing to be so exclusive. You come in, you can see the particular car that you like. You can see that car. But then it's like, okay, what you don't like about it? It's like what you like about it, what you don't like about it. And whatever you don't like about it, okay, what you want. They bring you all these different books and that change it to your specific modifications, and then they put it together just the way you want it. Listen, when you paying $500,000 for it, you should be able to say, hey, I want this kind of rim, I want that kind of leather, I want this kind of wood. You should be able to itemize it down to the T. Yeah. But most car brands don't allow you to do that. Yeah. Oh. Because the category is too wide. Yeah. You can't do it for every single line of the car you got. No. Ooh. I think that comes with anything that's custom though. Yeah. That comes with anything. If somebody doing custom. So if you're doing anything from scratch, right, custom, like the price is gonna look different. So when people reach out to you like, why are you so high? You like, man, this is custom. Like if you want the same cake, like Walmart makes the same cake over and over again, but this right here, it ain't gonna taste the same. It's all right. It's a lot of time. And Walmart made their cake and shipped them in a freezer. Yeah. This is freshly baked goods. Freshly baked. Okay. Hey man, we get in there. All right. So it says short term versus long term. Talk to me. Do you broaden the line in order to increase sales in the short term, or do you keep a narrow line in order to build the brand in the mind and increase sales in the future? I say narrow. Oh yeah, you got to narrow the brand, baby. You got to narrow the brand. All right, so I'm with you with the narrow, but do you think it's people that choose the short term? Yeah, just to increase. Because sales? They think. I mean, a lot of people try to get what they see. You know what I mean? Oh, I see. He got this here. Or he got a food truck. Now he want a food truck. It's a short term thing. Yeah. You don't know what the goal is, but you see the success that a person is having, and you feel like, you know what, I can have that same success. So you don't look at it long term. Like this person is doing this long term. They have aspirations of one day owning a restaurant. It's not going to be a food truck all the time. There's another level to come to it. But if you can only see this level, you want what they have on this level. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You want what they got on this level, but if you don't get that, then you go to the next thing.
Yeah.
So a lot of people don't look at long term. Sometimes they do look at short term. Because if it's something that you want to get a quick win out of, get the quick win, get the money and get out of it.
Yeah.
Yo, what's going on? It's your girl K.LA, and you are now tuned in to Influ Game.
Hey, boy.
Some situations are just like that. It's like, okay, it's just like stock market, right? It's a short-term thing, right? You're going to get in while the getting is good, and then pull your money out and move. Go to the next thing.
It's a short and it's a long term. Mm-hmm. Depends on how you want to ride. What you looking at me?
Okay. Sometimes when it's short term, though, dog, it's a scheme. When it's short term, it's a scheme because it's a quick win.
So, all right. So this is the only reason I would go short term.
Right.
If I was doing anything short term, it'd only be to get in, but you still have a goal to get in, make your profit. What you're trying to do to invest in what you're really trying to do. That's the only way I go into something short term. To go in there. So
you gotta break that. You gotta give an example of that.
Oh, well, if it's folks doing it every day, but they just don't have no end goal. So everybody going to these factories that they don't want to go to every day. Folks are waking up going to these jobs that they don't like.
Yeah.
I mean, they got to answer to all these people that they don't want. They want freedom. I'm like, just continue to do it because you're going anyway.
It's short term, but they make that.
You might well just be working on yourself.
Yeah.
And having a goal to work towards. So when you go ready to go to work now, can't nobody piss you off because you got a goal that you setting off. But when you ain't got no vision, you just attending. It's easy to piss you off, or it's easy to get discouraged off course. Most definitely. So,
that makes sense.
Yeah,
it makes sense to a certain extent.
Okay.
And to a certain extent, it do make sense because you do have a lot of people that do get these jobs, right? They get them for a specific reason, right? You can get them for I want to get this particular shoe. Yeah, these are the young kids out here. For the young one, please stop doing it to yourself. You go get a job for 2-3 weeks to get one pair of shoes.
Yeah.
Just don't know you burning bridges that you may have to cross again.
Okay. Hey, what is?
You know what I mean?
Just turn it to a lecture.
I'm telling you burning bridges you may have to cross again. Yeah. So even with the short term game with the different factors that you're working in, you never know. Like if you're not geared toward doing something on your own, if you have a goal of yours or a dream of yours, and you know you like working in factories, well they pay you good money.
Yeah.
But because my whole objective of being here is a monetary gain for a specific reason or some kind of article of clothing or something you trying to buy. If that's the only reason that you're doing it, it's a waste of time.
Yeah,
you wasting your time in there. Yeah. And then think of the process of what you got to go through, the different drug tests, the screening, the trainings, all of that. You putting all this time and effort into something that you're not even gonna commit to.
Obviously, they have some type of, I ain't gonna say goal, but they have some.
They have goal, but the objective
ain't long. But that's that's a whole nother.
Have you ever did that before though?
What's that?
I had a job just to get some.
No, I had a long term goal.
I couldn't do it.
I don't think I can do it. I mean, if so, this is the thing. It's like I have a long term goal. Yeah. But at the same time, if another opportunity presents itself while in there, then I'm like, okay. And then even when I make that transition, I make sure I do it correctly to the point that where you don't build the bridges just in case you want to come back. But not even come back, but this is my thought process, man. It ain't all about me. So what if I got like a guy that I ran across? He needs a job. What's called it? And I checked. I said outside. I see he trying.
They wouldn't even use you as a reference.
Yeah. So it's me. So when you, so how you moving? Regardless, man, it's not about you. It's about others, really.
Yeah, it really is.
So versus me burning that bridge, I can help somebody else by keeping that bridge.
Keeping that avenue open.
Leaving it open, even if it ain't for me. But I could help somebody. Hey, come on, man.
Ooh,
it's gonna get crazy.
Don't start preaching up in here.
I know. Listen, man. Hey man, I'm on my last paragraph on chapter.
I'm gonna hit chapter 2. I'm gonna hit chapter 2.
And then we're gonna hit a quick break, man, real quick. So it says while extending the line might bring added sales in the short term, it runs. Let me see counter. Let me see. So while the extended line might bring sales in the short term, it runs counter to the notion of branding. If you want to build a powerful brand in the minds of consumers, you need to contract your brand, not expand it. In the long term, expanding your brand will diminish your power and weaken your image. So
you gotta see.
It says contract.
You gotta break that thing down. You gotta break that thing down.
Hey, we're gonna be right back.
Hey, I'm trying to.
Hey, we're gonna be right back, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna finish that up, and then we'll be right back.
You are now tuned into the Influ Game.
Welcome back. You already know you tuned into the Influ Game. I'm here with my boy Hemi. I'm your boy Velt. And
Velt crew.
Right before we went to break, man, we was into pretty much it says contract your brand, not expand it. In the long term, expanding your brand will diminish your power and weaken your image. So it seems like my boy, he ready to break that down.
Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Let's go. Let's go then. Well, contracting your brand. Let's first start it off like this here. Shout out to my guy Anton. Why you good? Hey, you the truth now.
Okay.
But listen, when you think about contracting your brand, you want to think contracting means to shrink, right?
Right.
Contracting means to shrink, so you don't need to have a wide variety of different items. Think about that. Listen, y'all better hear me. You don't need a large variety. You don't need a large menu of items.
Yeah.
You don't need a lot of stuff. You don't need a lot of. What you have to do is narrow the focus. Contract your brand, right? Don't go down.
No. I'm just pulling.
Because you're about to pull a punch. Listen, you narrow the focus, y'all. Listen, once you narrow the focus, like you said earlier, it allows you to put the energy, the time and energy into one particular thing. And once you do that, you can look at it from different perspectives. You can come at it in different ways. You know what I mean? When you narrow that focus, it's like, okay, let's give some really good examples real quick. We'll give you two. Coca-Cola. Yeah. No, forget that. I'm going all the way back. The G-Spot. Shout out to the G-Spot, Big G. Hey, I need that. Like, boy, I need that. G. Listen, so let's take the G-Spot. I told you, like, since we've been reading this book, right? I told you, I said, listen, I've literally went through the laws that I've read so far, and the brand that you've created fits that law. That fits the laws to the T. Y'all followed all of the laws of branding to the T. Like, I'm like, for real. Like, I can really look at them and use them as an example. From a close standpoint, from me seeing, where they started from to where they at now. They followed all of the laws up until now. They followed all of them. They narrowed the focus, right? For those who gonna watch this, when you hit a G-Spot, what you think of?
Oh, fish off top.
That means they cooking today too.
Gee,
I know you cooking today, boy. It's Thursday, boy. You cooking today. I know it. But listen, I'm saying but when you know what the G-Spot for, let's break them down. Let's dissect into them right quick. We finna jump into them real quick, right? So the G-Spot is known for fish, right?
Right.
He did fish. And you know what the book said, right?
Yeah.
If you do a thing over and over again, eventually you'll do what? You get good at it.
Yeah.
So what he did was he kept doing fish.
Yeah.
He kept perfecting fish.
Nah.
He kept doing fish he kept doing fish. He embedded what you just said. He embedded that perception into people's head that if I want fish, forget Captain D, I'm going to G-Spot.
Yeah.
He embedded that into people's heads so much that he established his brand early.
Yeah, he did.
So his brand has the credibility. His brand has the credentials early. So when he comes up with a different product, he's already developed himself. So they know and love they know, like, and trust him already on what he's already done. So all he did was created another category. And he was like, okay, if he put his foot in his fish, he got to be putting his foot in his chicken tenders.
Yeah.
He ain't gonna just drift off to something else without putting something in it.
Okay, all right. So we have to break that down. So because earlier they was talking about don't expand, right?
He didn't expand though.
I know. So
yeah, it is.
So we got to break that down to folks. So when they say expand, so basically versus him doing, let's see, he known for fish. I'm trying to think of a good one.
If he expanded it?
Yeah, if he tried to expand it.
Just in case you didn't know, you were rocking with the Influ game written out.
Barbecue.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
See what I'm saying?
That's a good one.
Because I got the food truck, I can be able to do it.
But versus that, barbecue is a whole different ordeal to where you got a grill and a grill and stuff. But what he got, he stayed in pocket. He's doing different items, but he's not expanding. So basically, it boils down to like you using the tools that you already got to make me.
All he did with this here, he took the same rules that he didn't think about this. He don't even know it. That's the crazy thing about this, y'all. He don't even know he's doing this. Yeah. He took the same rules he applied to the first item and did the same thing for the second item. Yeah. Because he would give random people pieces of chicken.
Yeah.
Just try this out.
Yeah.
Ain't no obligation to it. Listen, ain't no obligation. You don't pay nothing for it. I just want to know what's your favorite. What's your feed? Give me your honest feedback. What you think about this chicken? Tell them what you think about the sauce to go with it. Yeah. What you honestly think. And I'm one of the ones that first started with him, so hey, you know what it is. So he has always been the kind of person that'll put his product in the people's hands who he know gonna do business with them.
Yeah.
And he'll let you see, he'll be like, give me an honest feedback. He's not gonna put any pressure on you. If you say it's not good, he'll be like, all right, cool. I need to go back to the drawing board. Okay. But if you say it's good, then it's like, okay. I can explore that a little bit more. So he did that with the chicken tenders. And we tasted them just like the same way he did it with the chicken spaghetti. He followed the same rules of his branding. The laws of branding, he's followed the same rules. And he didn't expand the brand. He just created different categories. Because
I was just over here brainstorming.
Like he created different categories because it's like this here. Perfect example. If I pull up to the truck today and he don't have any chicken tenders today, what is he known for? Fish is what you can count on. So any one of these other particular items that he added to the menu would never take away from the main thing. It's just another option. It's not an expansion of it. It's just another option. He's known for the fish. But if you don't want fish today, you want something different, I got the tenders. If you don't want the tenders today, you know what? I got the wing. But you're known for the fish, so you can always go back to something that you're known for. And that's basically what he did, man. He did it to a T. Proud of that boy.
Oh, hey man,
for real.
You sound like
he really did it though.
You sound like a proud pops.
Hey
man, chapter 2. Hey my guy, we might just get to chapter 2 because it's getting good. I ain't think we were going. Anyway, law number 2, man, is law of contraction.
Let me get this. I want to hit this one here.
Mainly, contraction means
shrink.
Shrink it. Make smaller.
Make it smaller.
So, a brand becomes stronger when you narrow its focus. Basically, he gave the example just then about the G-spot, for the fish.
Narrow the focus.
When you go to was it steakhouse? Obviously, it's known for the steak. The steak is named. His name is in it. Trying to think of another.
That's crazy though. You know that because wow, that's crazy. You said it. That's another interesting fact because I'm like, you say steakhouse. Steak is the main thing. We got a lot of other stuff, but steaks is what we known for. Like the G-spot doesn't say G-spot fish truck, but his logo has a fish. A fish. Come on now.
Hey man, I think they what they got going on is pretty much blessed because they ain't even studying.
They ain't studying at all.
No, I didn't study.
I told them, I said, y'all following every law that I've seen in this thing. Y'all following it to a T and don't even know it.
Don't even know it.
That's how you build a brand.
Oh man.
Have you influenced someone today? Huh?
Howard Schultz. Schultz. Howard Schultz.
On Starbucks.
In an incredible burst of business creatively, he opened up a coffee shop that specialized in all things coffee. In other words, he narrowed the focus. So before I read that, a little bit in the book, he was saying like if you go to any coffee shop, they had a whole bunch of stuff and whatnot. So basically what he did was he been to plenty of other coffee shops or whatnot, but he was like, there's a lot going on. So what he said, what I'm going to do, we're just going to focus on coffee. Now Starbucks is
the largest one.
Is an $8.7 billion.
Come on now, $8.7 billion annually.
Yeah, annually.
That means yearly for those who don't know that word.
Yeah. Let me see.
It's more than one. It's just think about it. It's multiple cases, right? And I know you reading out the book.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, like, because I memorized some of those cases, people like Little Caesars, Papa John's, like Toys R Us. Like, y'all gotta read this. Like, fun, interesting fact, right? So Toys R Us. People think Toys R Us was making money off selling toys.
Oh.
Fact, wrong. They make their money off buying toys. I was like, what? They make money off buying toys because they buy them at a cheaper price. Right. But then it's like this, when we talk about narrowing the focus, Toys R Us used to sell more than just toys. They sold toys. They sold, I want to be specific. Toys, it was clothes, and appliances.
Word?
Yeah.
You know what? I never did go in Toys R Us like that.
No. Matter of fact, it wasn't called Toys R Us. It was, if you look on the next page.
Oh.
It was called something else before they added it. They made it Toys R Us, but it was called something else before they actually known it.
Then instead of calling it Children's
Supermarket, exactly. It was called Children's Supermarket.
Okay.
So instead of doing that, it's like they found out that they were selling more toys. So Toys R Us was carrying 3,000 toys in the store and 3,000 other items in the store. They cleared out the other items and started carrying 6,000 toys in the store. And then instead of calling it Children's Market, they called it Toys R Us. Yeah. They narrowed the focus. They went to the main thing. Whatever was doing the best, we're going to stick with this. Scrap everything else, we stick with this. Same thing with pizza, with Papa John's. Like, Papa John's used to sell onion ring. It's in there. Man, listen. Onion rings.
Where I'm at?
Papa John's, it's in there. Papa John's sold onion rings. What else?
Hold on. I know I read. Oh, is it? That might be on 3.
I don't know. It's on 2.
Oh, no. Here.
There it is.
Yeah. Oh, let me see.
Little Caesars sold all that. You see that?
Little Caesars, they used to sell pizza, fried shrimp.
Listen to it,
fish and chips, and roasted chicken.
You hear that? You heard that? So my thing is, if that's what they used to sell, right? They used to sell that. They had to obviously go with what was working. And what was working was obviously the pizza.
Yeah.
Right? So pizza, that's crazy because it tells you about Domino's, it tells you about Papa John's, and then it tells you about Little Caesars, right? And the crazy thing about it, everybody came from a different angle. And this crazy thing about it, right? So Domino's used to sell submarine sandwiches.
Correct.
Right?
Right.
So, but the submarine sandwiches wasn't doing as well as the pizza. So when they found out they wasn't doing as well as the pizza, their main focus was pizza.
Right.
But as you can see now, they started to bring those submarine sandwiches back now, though.
Yeah. They trying out the market.
Because they're going back to the foundation.
They're not trying to expand. They're trying to create a
new category.
Another category.
Exactly. So with Little Caesars, they were like, shoot, Little Caesars used to sell some of the same items, and that was like, they looked at what they were doing and they were like, shoot, pizza was doing the best.
Yeah.
So they narrowed the focus. They got rid of all the zucchini and onion rings and fish and chips. They got rid of all of that stuff. I'm like, they sold all of that. I'm like, I really didn't know they sold all that. But they managed to sell all of that.
Yeah, that's Papa John's. They used to do fried zucchini.
Yeah, that was Papa John's. That's who. I know it was one of them now. Yeah. I know it was one of them. But Little Caesars sold something else.
Yeah, Little Caesars one sold fried shrimp, fish and chips, and roasted chicken.
So what did Domino's sell? No, Domino's sold submarine sandwiches and pizza. Yeah. That's what it was. So everybody had a case where they had to narrow the focus. Everybody has had a particular incident where they had to contract their brand, and once they did it, that allowed the brand to take off.
Yeah.
So contracting your brand is going to be very important to focus on what you know best. What you do, Ro?
Media.
You don't fry hamburger?
No, I don't fry.
See, I'm just saying, like, I cut hair. You don't see me out there. I'm not cutting grass. I cut hair.
Yeah.
But I'm saying if I need to do what I have to do, I can do what I need to do. You know what I mean? But it's just a simple fact that most times we take on too much too early.
You are now rocking with Influ Game.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
You already know what time it is. Influ Game. And man, I think we're gonna do a recap. I said I was gonna do 1 through 3, but due to so much information that was given, man, I know y'all probably do a lot of stopping and starting, just dissecting and probably breaking it down on your own. And got some gems out of this one and whatnot, man. So once again, the first chapter was Law of Expansion.
Law of Expansion.
The power of a brand is inversely proportional to its scope. Inversely amount of something else. No, inversely is the opposite, and proportional is the amount of something. I broke that down myself or whatnot, but
With a good note.
yeah. But yeah, man, the expansion, man, you want to create new categories, not to actually expand into all kind of different things. Pretty much just focus on what works and what people figure out what people like, and then put your energy on it and see how do you blow that up or enhance that. And then let me see what else we're coming from. Was there anything else on the expansion that you want to touch on? Anything else? That was kind of much.
Basically, what you're saying, the law of expansion. Listen, we don't need to expand the brand. We don't need to expand it by adding multiple items to the brand.
Yeah.
We don't add multiple items to that one brand. Like you can do what's called, you can create sub brands, which are small brands that can live on their own, but they have a mega brand that's over them. You can do that.
Yeah.
Or you can just create another category, you know what I mean? So if we're going to create another category, okay, we dominated this one, so we'll go to this one, but we don't take away from what we're not taking away from it. So it's like, when you think of expansion, and I don't want to, we don't really want to go back into it, but when you think of expansion, you think of, if I'm thinking of fish, if my best thing I'm doing is fried fish, right? If I expand the brand, then that means I make fried fish, baked fish, blackened fish, barbecue fish, grilled salmon. I'm trying to explore every avenue that has to do with fish.
Yeah.
And what it's going to end up doing is what the book said, it's going to take away from the main
boy,
character.
you hit it on the nail.
See, if we expand the category, instead of
hey man,
if we get another category instead of expanding the brand, we go from fish to another meat.
Yeah.
We don't try to make this meat better. The same. I'm like, this is what we mastered. We ain't got to make that better.
Right.
We gonna keep doing that one. You slap your name though.
Okay. Man,
but that's a good one though. That's a really good one.
And then law number 2.
Law of contraction.
Law of contraction. A brand becomes stronger when you narrow its focus. So, long story short, man, basically, you narrow down what you want to be known for, and it should be one word.
Exactly.
But I know we ain't got that yet.
Tiger Woods.
Yeah.
Golf. Floyd Mayweather.
Boxing.
Michael Jordan.
Basketball.
Okay, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Mike Tyson, whoop your ass. So it's got to be that simple. Like for real, like any brand out here that anybody out here looking to have their own brand, it has to be that simple.
Yeah.
When I say your name or I say whatever your brand is, you have to have one word associated with it, which we'll get into the law of the word.
Yeah.
So it's kind of,
So basically, don't want to discourage nobody. The correct terminology versus trying to expand your brand. Just create another category, but be known for one. Yeah. Be known for
master that one.
Yeah, master that one.
Master the one, and
this is basically gonna open up the doors for the sub.
Yeah, because what you do is you create credentials. The credentials that, because one thing we read was what other people said about your brand is more important than what you say yourself. So if I have the right credentials and I've had the right publicity behind this one thing, they're gonna speak volumes on the next thing.
Hey, you
just
just finna dip in there. Hey man, y'all, thank y'all for tuning in, man. Thank you for liking, subscribing, commenting, sharing. Hey man, y'all just don't know it, man. Y'all a blessing to me. I'm hoping this is a blessing to y'all. And man, we just not getting into it, man. It's chapter 1.
Long way to go, y'all. It's a long series.
It's a long way to go, man. I don't know, man. I'm pretty excited. I'm about learning, period. But yeah, man. We in this thing with my boy Hemi. It's your boy Velt, and you already know, man. Make sure y'all influence somebody today. We over and out.
That boy, did he say just influence somebody today?
Influence somebody today.
That boy said make sure you influence somebody today, boy.
You are now tuned into the Influ Game.
yeah, smile, fool. You look too good to be frowning. Now, why?